दोस्तों, जिंदगी में हार और जीत अपनी सोच पर निर्भर होती है। जिंदगी में अपनी हार और जीत अपनी सोच पर निर्भर होती है। मान लो तो हार होती है, लेकिन ठान लो तो जीत होती है। गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम back friends to another episode of Money Mindset Mastery with Vkas Joshi. Friends, we have been talking of the goals, the path we have chosen to reach the goals, the way we are treating our path. We are evaluating the path in the process. We have understood why is it necessary to be self-aware. So also the self-limiting beliefs which are part and parcel of self-awareness, which are restricting you to reach your goals, are also important part. So we have been addressing the limiting beliefs in detail because these are the limiting beliefs which you are carrying in you, which are in turn restricting you to be successful. So friends, limiting belief require a detailed analysis. Once you overcome these limiting beliefs, once you are self-aware of the limiting beliefs, that you can overcome these limiting beliefs, then the success is not far away. The goals are definitely to be achieved. So we are addressing those limiting beliefs. Some of them like I don't have time, I'm restricted by the circumstances, I cannot change. I'm like this only. Today, I will be talking on another limiting belief, which is carried on from our childhood, maybe because of our family members, or maybe because of the comparative figures made by the family members. You see, we are always told that you are not getting good marks because XYZ is getting more marks. A comparative analysis, which in turn unawarely, not meaningfully or not forcefully, but unawarely, you made a belief that you are not so good. A negative part, which not even the mother, father, or family members would have thought, that has creeped into your mind because of their comparative analysis, is that you are not so good. So, that not so good feeling, which has creeped into your mind, not deliberately, but unawarely, is now taken up your much of the mind. Whenever you wish to do something, the first thing comes to your mind is, I'm not so good. Because he is very good or she is very good. The comparative figures is pulling you down from taking any task, is pulling you down from reaching your goals. So the limiting beliefs. Now, what are limiting beliefs? They are the deeply held convictions that constrain individuals and hinder their personal development. Hence, I said, I'm not so good is a limiting belief. It is a conviction that you have made in mind that is not so good. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, societal conditioning, or negative self perceptions. Whenever you are compared with someone and you're told that you are not good because he is good, thus defining the good, which is not at all correct method. Hardly do the family members or societal people think about those things. They react on your achievements into comparative figures. Unknowingly, you are creeping in yourself that you are not so good. Unknowingly, they are allowing you to have a negative self-talk. Unknowingly, they are spoiling your future. Unknowingly, you are succumbed to spoil your own future. So, friends, it is necessary that you have to challenge the limiting belief because it is necessary or it is crucial for personal growth. Now, some of the methods which I wish to address today are people. They require perfectionism in everything. Nobody thinks whether he or she himself is perfect or not, but he or she always requires the other person to be very perfect. What is perfectionism, friends? That is a very serious concern, that the perfectionism cannot be defined. It is only a comparative to figures. To be perfect is not always equal to be successful, because success is always the result of creativity, the result of thinking out of box, the result of thinking something new to achieve the goals. So failures are a part and parcel of life, but you have to decide whether to learn from the failures or whether to sit with the failures. If you have decided to learn from the failures, then you have decided to use the failure as a stepping stone for your growth. But if you have decided the other way, that is a negative self-talk. I'm not so good. I have failed. But my friend has passed. And my family members are comparing me with that particular friend. Then I'm sitting with my failure. I'm not addressing the failure. I'm not at all taking the failure head on. I'm not using the failure as a stepping stone towards my goals. So what you have to do is you have to challenge the negative self-talk, challenge the failures, work on the failures, find out the flaw where you have gone wrong, work on it, and you will be successful. Rather than sitting with the failures and appreciating what the family members and the society members are saying, or approving their say. In other way, you are accepting your negative self-talk, which you should not do. Because negative self-talk will lead you nowhere. It will lead you to stagnancy. It will deteriorate you. You will be going away from your goals, away from your defined goals, or away from your future. The treasure of future lies in present. If you are wasting time on sitting on the failures, when are you going to reach your future, or when are you going to achieve the treasure? So friends, you have to challenge those thoughts. The comparison is to be eroded. It should be waved off. It should not be allowed to happen. A comparative to figures cannot lead to a perfectionism. No. So also, you have to overrule or override the fear of judgment. Because all these feelings, all these happenings are because of judgment. Someone is judging you, you are carrying those judgment along with you. Why? Why not be yourself? Why not accept you as yourself? Why not take the failure as a stepping stone? Why not learn from the failures? Why are we bothered what other people are saying about us rather than we should be bothered? Why I am not thinking about me? You should. It's your life. You have to think about yourself. Who is going to think about yourself? All the successful people in life, whichever, take any name, he has had faced the failures. He had those circumstances where he had to face such situations, where he was compared with someone. But he or she didn't give up. To be successful, they worked on themselves. They believed on themselves. They believed that they can challenge every failure. They believed that they can challenge every judgment. They believed that the comparative analysis will be just thrown out of if they took it head on. So, in the process, they learned to set a realistic goals so that the thing goes out of hand or out of time. When you are setting the realistic goals, you are aware of the time limits. You are aware of the goals. You are aware of the path you are going to achieve the goals. So once you are aware, then the success is not far off, friends. So when you're setting the realistic goals than unrealistic goals, because unrealistic goals are we decide something huge without considering of self-awareness or the limiting beliefs we are giving, or whether we are able to challenge the limiting beliefs and the time it will take. Hence, it is necessary that we set realistic goals, considering all the conditions. We have to consider this cultural and societal pressures. We are in the society, we are the society members also. So we have to consider those constraints. We have to consider the unprecedented challenges which you may come across the way. But that should not make your negative self-talk stronger. That is, because of these challenges you may face, you may think that once I start something, there are issues which are coming in my way. There are problems when I start any good thing for a negative thought, and hence it results in, oh, I'm not so good. Hence, I will not be able to achieve the goals. That negative self talk has to be eroded. You have to take on the challenges. You have to take on the cultural and societal pressures, but not to budge away from the path towards achieving of your goals. So you have to be positive. The negative self-talk should be converted into positive self-talk. Saying I can't, you have to say I can. Just remove the negative words from your dictionary, friends. You have to. The early childhood experiences are to be just bundled off. Because during the childhood experiences, you were made to think by the society, by the family members, by the other members, where they were comparing you with something which led to your negative talk. So those childhood experiences which gave you the negative talk, which force you to think you that you are not so good, they are to be nipped out of that. They are to be cut off from your daily routines. They have to be just removed from your thinking processes. Unless and until you take this step, you will not be able to overcome the very feeling that I'm not so good. Because you are not lose, or you are not thinking about yourself, or you are losing on yourself by thinking of others, because you're comparatively thinking without any base. So as the numerology goes, 1 2 3 4, so after 1 comes 2, but 1 and 2 cannot be compared. 2 cannot say why I'm not 1. So the comparative doesn't have any base. So friends, you have to understand that I'm not so good is a feeling you are carrying just because you're not thinking about yourself. It is a fear. It is a negative self-talk that you're carrying along with you. The past failures, the childhood experiences, those are clogged heavily in your mind, in your heart. As we say in slang language, it is written on my heart, it is written on my brain. Who wrote it? You allowed it to be written. People were talking, family members were talking, family members were comparing your achievements with someone else. Societal members were comparing your achievements with someone else. But what were you doing? You were just succumbing to the pressures. You should have thought about yourself only. You should have used those failures to be as stepping stone. Now you have to use it. So remove those childhood experiences. Remove the past failures from your mind. Remove the unrealistic standards which are set by the society or which are set by the family members. You don't know what standards they are setting in. And hence you were told you are not so good. Whenever you are comparing someone with something, one is always less than the other. That doesn't mean that the other or first one who is less doesn't exist, or he or she is a failure. No, 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 no. It only means that The other one worked hard on himself. The one he didn't work so hard on. Take any talent show. Take any talent show. The successful person, the first one who has been awarded with the first rank, is just above the second one. The second one has missed out on very few margin. The comparison between two cannot happen because both were equally strong. But the second person who got the second award, he loses to the first stage by few margin. Now he has to work on that. He is successful. So coming second doesn't mean he is not successful. He doesn't mean that I'm not so good. He is equally good. But the comparative analysis made someone else the first one. So you have to work on that part. That is called erosion of the I'm not so good limiting belief. The cultural and societal pressures, they press you hard to accept such things. You have to be very firm not to accept it as a gospel truth. It is a mere comparison. You are equally good. Your childhood experiences, the fear, you have to remove, friends. And that is why I stated in the beginning कि जिंदगी में हार और जीत अपनी सोच पर ही निर्भर होती है. जिंदगी में हार और जीत अपनी सोच पर ही निर्भर होती है. मान लो तो हार होती है, मगर ठान लो तो जीत होती है. On this note, I'm signing off today, friends. We'll meet again in another episode of Money Mindset Mastery with Vkas Joshi. And we continue our addressing of the limiting beliefs which are restricting you from achieving your goals. This series will help you more to gain on self-confidence and self-projection. Bye-bye for the day. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the life, friends. It is a one-time activity. Do enjoy.